Welcome to this week's episode of the Last Night's Game podcast, where we are giving you the survival guide to football season, even if you don't know how many points a touchdown is worth. We've got you. We are going to fill you in so you can join the conversation because NFL games, well, they accounted for the majority of the top ranked broadcasts last year with numbers around 70, 72 out of 100 most watched telecasts for the year were NFL games. The U.S. is watching and here to share all his wisdom in the world of sports, the sports guru of all sports gurus, my fantasy football, I guess guru, that's a lot better. I can't think of any better word. Guide. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me for this much anticipated podcast. The NFL is here. It's ratings king. Everyone's watching in the US at least.
This is true. I want to start us off with just get us all on the same page. What the heck happened last year? Like, I was reading our notes and I've kind of forgot who played in the Super Bowl, all those things. So give me a quick recap.
February does seem like a very long time ago. Back in February, you will remember that the Philadelphia Eagles defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. Jalen Hurts was the MVP. The Philly fans went wild, climbed up greased light poles, did whatever Eagles fans do, went crazy. Jalen Hurts then got married in the offseason, so he's got 2 rings this year. He's kind of on top of the world, and don't ask him about it because he doesn't care. He wants to move on and play better this year.
And I thought, didn't he have, and you may not remember this, but his screenshot on the phone, on his phone before last year was when they lost the year before, and it was like him walking off the field in disappointment, right? Wasn't that his screensaver on his phone?
I believe it was when they lost the Chiefs 2 seasons ago in the Super Bowl in Arizona, and the disappointment he felt. I don't know what it is now. He has not shown us yet. Maybe it's a picture of his lovely wife.
Maybe so. Maybe. I
But
like
yeah,
this.
he's already on to this season. He doesn't want to revel in the past. He still has a lot of doubters, even though he's won a Super Bowl, and he wants to keep proving them wrong.
What I love about Jalen Hurts, and because we love to tell stories kind of around the players here, he has an all-female team that represents him. His agent, lady, I mean, everybody on his team is a
Mhm.
female. And at one point, the beginning of last year, he signed, I think it was like the biggest NFL contract for like 3 days till somebody else upped it.
Yeah,
But I mean, like that was a really cool thing to see. And he did that with an all-female team.
he did, and then he won the Super Bowl. So, I mean, he's
Just
doing something
saying.
right. He's doing something right.
Get on board. Okay, so we're rolling into this season, and I do not want to make this a Taylor Swift Travis Kelce podcast. As much as I love them and I love their engagement, and I've never been more excited for people I've never met in my entire life, that is something we have to obviously address.
We do.
It's
Previous
gonna
to the season, they did get engaged, although you were telling me I was not aware. You think it maybe happened 2 weeks ago or something? There's some kind of Taylor Swift. The Swifties are on it, the investigators.
Swifties will investigate and dive into, like, they were looking at her, the way her hair was, the hair the same way that they were with the
Mhm.
headphones from her New Heights recording. Like, Swifties will give Swifties a way to solve, like, they could solve cancer. Like, this is world hungry. Swifties are just amazing.
And give them access to FBI database or the policemen, and
Yeah.
they'll find everyone.
They'll figure it out. I mean, it's incredible, and it's brought us a ton of new viewers in the world of football too.
It
So
has,
let's
yes.
celebrate that it has brought more people over to the game of football. We do that on a very small level. Last night, you helped me and my friends with our fantasy football draft because we happened to be in the same place.
We
But I
did.
mean, it's all about just paying attention and watching and really getting into it. It doesn't have to be something high tech. We don't have to be out here discussing,
No,
as you know, I don't. I didn't know who half the players were that I drafted. You were like, that guy's a good one. I'm like, oh, okay, seems logical to me. Like I love football, but I
yeah.
don't pay that close of
That guy
attention.
went to our high school. There we go.
That's what
Draft
you
him.
did say.
Yes.
Rome?
Rome. So shout out to
Rome.
Bishop Gorman and Rome Dunze on the Bears.
There you go. So let's start off with, who do we want to watch for this season? I love watching for the players as much as I do the team itself. So who should we be watching for this year?
We're going to start with the player, and rarely do we have a rookie that's going to come in and do something that's never been done before. And this year we have someone who actually made history in the draft to be drafted as a wide receiver, which is on offense, and a defensive back, which is on defense, and he's expected to play on both sides, which is Travis Hunter with the Jacksonville Jaguars. You may recognize him from Colorado Buffaloes with Coach Prime, where he won the Heisman, playing both offense and defense. So rarely we have a guy, their quarterback, whatever, they're going to throw the ball, but he's going to make history playing snaps on both sides of the ball, which is truly incredible and obviously very, very hard to do.
Yeah, I would imagine he'd just be exhausted.
Yeah, his cardio is like unlike anything anyone's ever seen. It's really, I don't know how he does it. No one does, but he's able to just go nonstop. It's pretty amazing. Well, he'll probably break the rookie snaps record, which is how many plays you're on the field, like halfway through the season,
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, because he's playing both there's not many
both
people that do
ways.
that.
Yes. So there's guys who like Dion. He would play defensive back, and he would every once in a while play offense, return kicks. But he's from all signs pointing to playing both sides full time.
And he's had a really I really appreciated watching him because he
Yes.
always came across and you never know if it's the media, right? He
Hmm.
played for Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, who was sort of really a substitute father for him,
Hmm.
and he really brought him under his wing and raised him and along with his sons. And so you don't know how much is media, but I thought this guy just seems to come across as a decent human. And then you've seen all these little stories in the off season, and maybe it's because our Instagram follows a lot of sports stuff, but
Hmm.
of, this sweet lady sat next to him on an airplane and, like, he took a selfie with her, but she had no idea who he was for the whole beginning of the flight, right? And he put her suitcase up, and she was asking about, like, why he has a Jaguar on his pants, and, I mean, she was, like, this sweeter old little old lady, and there were
Hmm.
pictures I've seen videos of him, like, really being so sweet to kids at camp and things like that where I think it's really neat to see that he's embracing this spotlight, and he's not thinking, "Hey, I'm, hot stuff. I'm gonna
Hmm.
come out here and rule the world. I'm so amazing." He's like, "Look, I'm humble. I'm here. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna hustle hard." I think that to me is something to be celebrated and a reason to cheer for the Jaguars because there's probably not a lot of other reasons to cheer for the Jaguars unless you live in Jacksonville.
Correct. Yes. Use him. Yeah, he's kind of feels like an inspiration almost to kids like him. Coming from maybe a single parent home, or and he had Dion kind of raise him from high school to college, so into the NFL. By all accounts, it's just football. He doesn't. Yeah, I think he does Twitch, the video game streams. I don't know much about that, but he does that. I don't think he really goes out. I mean, just he's football and
Okay,
his lovely wife. And we had some breaking news recently too.
yeah, he and his wife, they just got married in the off season,
Yeah,
just like Jalen Hurts, just like Josh Allen and Haley
all
Steinfeld.
of
There's a
them.
lot of weddings this off
Yes,
season, but he and his wife just welcomed a baby boy on August 27th. So
yes.
just last week.
So you had dad strength on top of all the cardio he's got. It's a dangerous combo, and hopeful that the new coaches down in Jacksonville will be able to utilize him correctly too.
That's I guess a huge piece of it, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And we talked about like on things to watch for, and this really stood out to me when we
Mhm.
were doing our draft. Is there's an insane amount of good quarterbacks. I feel like growing up, like a good quarterback was like there were not 30 of them. There are a lot of really freaking good quarterbacks.
Mhm.
So that is just a note to mention. They're all notable names: Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, as we've talked about, Joe Burrow. But like, there's a lot.
Yeah, that's certainly. I think the rules have really played into the offense and keeping quarterbacks healthy and allowing them to. There's just more throwing nowadays. So, like I said, in the fantasy football draft, you don't necessarily need to take a guy in the first round because there's like 10 to 15, 20 guys that are going to be very good. I think the top like 10 MVP odds are all quarterbacks and all pretty notable names that I think that most people would know. The name of the league is quarterback. The Netflix show is quarterback. We've
Makes
got,
sense.
Jared Goff, Burrow. They'll be their household names now.
Yeah, that's true, I guess, if you watched quarterbacks, which we're gonna
Mhm.
talk about just in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I wanna say we're talking about who to watch for. I also wanna know, who are we gonna be really tired of by the end of the season?
I think everyone probably outside this fan base is going to feel this way just because of sustained excellence and they have the most primetime games. It's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. That's all. It's kind of a given. I'm sure their fan base loves it that nobody wants to talk about them or hear about them anymore. Just because they're so good, they win. They win, and obviously they've got high profile players engaged to very high profile musicians, and their quarterback's going to be in a new State Farm campaign. I think you told me, if
Yeah, well,
this is
he's in all the
correct.
State Farm commercials. This year, we have Megan trainers in them, so we'll get a little fresh sense of somebody fresh and new in commercials, but I feel like
Yes.
if it's not Travis Kelce or Patrick Mahomes, you have Andy Reid, their head coach, who's got the
Also in
big bushy
commercials.
mustache. He's
Yes.
also in commercials. So it's one of those, I feel like even if you don't watch football,
Mhm.
you're probably going to be, worn out by seeing them at some point, even if you love them.
Yes.
Like I said, I love the whole concept of all of these things that are just driving people to pay attention to sports,
Mhm.
period, even if it's just a tiny bit. But it's like, yeah, it does. Okay, noted.
And it's like it's very hard to sustain winning in the NFL with free agencies and injuries and you know how things go, coaching changes, and Andy Reid has been at the head for a long time. He's been able to keep a majority of his coaches with him. So to have that consistency long term is kind of why people don't want to talk about them anymore.
Are they gonna be good this year?
Well, I was kind of looking up to see they've won the AFC West, which is their division, 9 consecutive times.
Okay.
And the record would be 11 with the New England Patriots. I'm sure at the time everyone started talking about them for
Yeah,
different
we were
reasons
tired.
as well. So, I mean, when you win, people get tired of you, and 9 consecutive division titles, yeah, it's ingrained in them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will move on and we will not talk about them anymore. But you did kind of mention, can you just give me a 101 on AFC, NFC, kind of how the league is divided up with their teams?
It's not necessarily geographic either. So
Okay.
it's AFC and the NFC, which came together in the 1970s to form the NFL, as they were like separate leagues at that time. And they combined to incorporate all their teams and come together to the NFL that we know today. And
Interesting.
AFC would be the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, a lot of the big teams. NFC's big teams would be the Packers, the Lions, the Eagles. So it's not necessarily geographic at all. It's just how they came into the league.
Yeah. And aren't they underneath? Aren't they like West? They're like,
Yeah, so you'll have a
and
conference and you'll have a division.
those aren't either any sort of
Uh,
logistics.
kind
Kind
of.
of.
A little
Okay.
bit, yes. So yeah, there'll be divisions like the Chiefs are in the AFC West because Missouri's, very close to the Pacific Ocean. Oh, it makes a lot of sense.
Yes, of course. That makes a ton of sense.
Yes.
Okay. So we've got who we're going to be tired of, but and now we have those divisions lined out. Talk to me about, like, if I don't have a team, because 'cause I'll be honest, I really don't have an NFL team.
Mhm.
How do I who's a team, or how should I pick a team if I don't have one?
That's something we kinda messed around with a little bit, right? We'll pick, like, a random word association. If you like this kind of thing, then this is your team to root for.
Okay.
I think the first one is gonna be the Cowboys right there. If you like drama, if you like reality TV, if you like nonsense that has nothing to do with actual football, the Cowboys is your team.
Okay.
Because when
Jerry
Jerry Jones
Jones.
just had the it was a Netflix
It's a
special
Netflix
movie,
show, yep. I think it's called America's Team.
which they have not won a Super Bowl since 1996.
But
America's
we
team
do
is
love
debatable, but
I
they are the
love
most
America's Sweethearts, the cheerleaders. That's a great show too.
great show, very talented ladies, but
Mhm.
they are they're the
Has the highest valuation,
highest
right?
value of any franchise in the world, I think, so
I think you're right.
winning doesn't necessarily equal, popularity with them, it's more of the show, and Jerry Jones' off-season contract negotiations through the media, which he loves to do, he loves to talk, so if you love drama, Cowboys are your team.
Okay, if we want a little, like, I don't know, hard nose consistency, blue collar, what are we talking about there?
They are rivals, but I'm gonna put them in the same category. I'm a Steelers fan, so they're probably not gonna enjoy this, but Steelers and Ravens, I think it's just consistency, winning, blue collar, like, that's kind of where you're going with that if you like consistency and just hard-nosed, hard-playing teams with hard-nosed coaches. Mike Tomlin is the coach of the Steelers, and John Harbaugh, excuse me, coach of the Ravens. They have the second most matchups all time between coaches. So
'Cause they've been
they've been
around
there
forever.
forever. The teams are always usually the same, and they're always going to play tough.
I think we've kinda covered this one, so sustained excellence, winning, if you really just wanna
Yeah.
ride the gravy train, that would be
Chiefs.
the Chiefs, of course.
Yes.
And then this one I love there, we talked about a little bit already, like, rabid fan base, ridiculous expectations. I mean, if you ever watch Jason Kelce, he fits this mold perfectly.
Yes.
And who was that?
That's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. Their fans are ruthless. They just came off the Super Bowl, and if they have a bad first drive, they're going to get booed by their fans. Like the fans,
Philadelphia fans, you do not mess around.
you do not mess around with them. They
No.
want to win. The players know they want to win, and they appreciate that support. And the GM, Howie Roseman's kind of like a wild, wild west guy. He's all in. He's making deals. He doesn't really care. He's going to trade for the guy if he needs him. It doesn't really matter. All they would want to do is win.
This makes sense why mom, as an Eagles fan, is kind of crazy and yells at the TV sometimes.
She's a
Makes sense.
very mild, less F words than the average Eagles fan, male or female.
And our last one, if you want fashion, flair, who are we going for there?
Usually, the city is associated with fashion and flair. Cincinnati, Cincinnati Bengals. You've got Joe Burrow. He's been in fashion shows with a suit with no back on it. He's been on quarterback. He's got the wonderful hair, fashion going into the stadium. High-powered offense. He probably should have been MVP last year if his defense wasn't so bad. So they've got a high-flying offense. His college teammate, Jamar Chase, we've mentioned a lot, top receiver in the league. So that duo is dynamic, fast-paced offense, great fashion.
And if you don't care about football, I think he looks a lot like Conrad from The Summer I Turned Pretty. So if you need an excuse, that would
Or Macaulay Culkin, if you don't know who Conrad is,
depending on your age range.
depending on your
Okay,
age. Yeah.
if I wanna have a go-to conversation starter with an NFL fan, that would be what?
Ooh, there's so many. This year, with so many streaming platforms, it's going to be how do you watch a game? There's going to be a debate all year. There's so many different ways to watch a game, so many different platforms you have to watch a game. Everyone's just going to talk about it all the way through to the Super Bowl.
I know, I almost canceled my Peacock, and I was like, "Oh, well, football season starts next month, I might as well just keep it."
Yeah, you should have canceled after Super Bowl.
I should have, but between that and Notre Dame games, it's like, well,
Uh-huh.
I might as well keep Peacock too. I mean, we're talking ESPN, YouTube TV, I mean, it's everywhere, so oh, and Amazon Prime for Black Friday, we've got Christmas games, like, they're just
Netflix.
all over the place,
Yeah, so it's going to be, you're going to have to work to find some of these games. So
and you're gonna have to
Netflix,
work to earn money to pay for them
you have to work overtime or you're going to have to borrow someone's account information if you can log in and not get caught by
if you
Netflix.
happen to do that.
If you
Call
happen to
me.
do that type of thing.
I don't know anybody who does that.
Yeah, I think it's up to eight different streaming platforms or channels that you have to have.
And I love the reason I love that as a conversation starter,
Mhm.
it's because then you can say, "Well, what do you watch on Netflix?" You could take
Yeah,
this completely away from football and
absolutely.
move right off into something completely different from football. So, keep that in mind,
Yes.
is that's why one reason I really love that conversation starter. And my last question I have for you, if you wanna fire up an NFL football fan, talk about
The Super Bowl being in London.
what?
It's not scheduled yet, but it's always been rumored. And with the amount of international games that they keep putting on, I mean, it's eventual that we're going to have a Super Bowl in London. We just don't know exactly when, but it's going to be a
Interesting.
debate and it's going to fire people up. And probably most fan bases that have no chance of actually playing the Super Bowl will be the most upset, for
That's
being
I mean
honest.
well, I mean, and you kinda
Yeah.
mentioned this, like, we were talking about this ahead of us logging in,
Hmm.
is that the Premier League gets roughly 600 million views per match.
Yes.
I mean, that's compared to 127 million we had for the Super Bowl last year. So you're looking at this big discrepancy, and the NFL is doing, I think, as good a job of any of
Yes.
really adopting and jumping into that international because they're in let's see, the Chiefs start this season on the Friday night in
Mm,
Brazil
against the Chargers, yes,
against the
on
Chargers.
YouTube exclusive.
Of course, it's on YouTube.
Yes.
And then we have Spain, we have games in Germany, we have games in England, we have games in Ireland. So it's really neat to see what they're doing, but yeah, what that makes a lot of sense. Bring the biggest game of the year somewhere else,
Yeah,
I
Roger
think.
Goodell wants to force himself into every country, whether they like it or not, and
Well, and then
he's trying.
it would be like a that'd be interesting timing too, with the timing of a game and the time difference. And sorry, Hawaii, you're going to be totally hosed on that one.
Yeah, weather probably not great, I would assume.
Well, that too. Didn't think about that. Interesting, interesting. Where is the Super Bowl this year?
That is going to be at the 49ers home stadium, Levi's
Okay.
Stadium,
Oh, Levi. Okay, that makes sense.
which they are the San Francisco 49ers, but the stadium is what, 30 something miles away in Santa Clara, so it's not necessarily close nor convenient.
Not close nor convenient, but you know what? They have a rooftop garden.
They do have
There's a lot
rooftop
of
garden.
great green policies there. So,
There you go.
is there anything you want to leave us with as we wrap this baby up?
Let's see. Maybe underdogs to watch for real quick.
Okay, real
And I
quick.
feel like
Let's do it.
they might be the same team every year until both these teams win the Super Bowl or get to the Super Bowl. It's gonna be the Bills, who are in Hard Knocks, Josh Allen. That fan base has never won a Super Bowl. They lost 4 straight at one point. So they need to
They've
win a
never
Super
won a
Bowl.
Super Bowl?
I don't believe so, no. I lost 4 straight
I
back
know
in the day.
their fans jump through the tables.
Yes, and that fan base, the world may explode if they win a Super Bowl. And also, if they're in the AFC, then I'll go to the NFC with the Detroit Lions, who obviously need a Super Bowl as well. And I think that's anyone who doesn't really have a team nor really doesn't care. I think those are 2 great teams to jump on as well.
I actually Googled it because I didn't believe you that they had never won a Super
Mhm.
Bowl. So you are absolutely correct.
So there you go. So if we're going underdog teams to watch for or associate, they're always fun.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, I love it. Okay. Well, as we wrap up, I want to tell you if you're listening and you've enjoyed and you want to learn more about the world of football, we have a great podcast on play calling, which I did with Scott. And I learned so much. It was mind blowing on how they call plays in football. Really enjoyed that one. I'll link all these in the show notes. A fantasy football podcast. You can learn that if you're getting ready to draft your team, or maybe you already did and you want to learn a bit more, or just join the conversation. And then we have a guide to talking football, a non-sporty guide to talking football. It's all about the basics. So check those ones out if you want a little bit more information to fill in the blanks of what we talked about today. Thanks for joining us. Please don't forget to share us with a friend who might need a little bit more football information to join the conversation. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.